Hey everyone, we are live from my backyard where I am smoking a brisket and some ribs. I'm making meats now, smoking these meats here.
Hello there guys, and welcome to The Moaning Chef. I am on this episode going to be smoking some meats, which I've been wanting to do for a very long time, and now I've finally got the time to do it. So I mean, this is such a simple method. I've obviously watched a lot of videos on how to do this and thought, you know what, all the guys that are making these videos seem to have a lot of knowledge of it, so I'm going to try and do it as almost a first timer's way of how to smoke your meats. So I've got some brisket, got some ribs, I've got some sausage, and I've got some chicken. And this whole method is foolproof. Everything came out beautifully, and I hope that you can do the same with your meats as well. So let's get our Mark Zuckerberg on. Let's get in the backyard. Let's smoke some meats, and let's get straight to it.
Just set the charcoal up, and you set the wood chips up, and then smoking meats, grilling meats, good smoky flavor.
So these are some things that you will need: lumpwood charcoal, hickory wood chips, metal tongs, tin foil, tin tray, a barbecue chimney, and of course a barbecue.
They taste doubly better when you hunted the animal yourself.
Unfortunately, I can't hunt my own meats, unlike Zuckerberg. But for what I'm going to do here, I've gone to a lovely little butcher's called Carnivores. I've got some lovely ribs, brisket, and some chicken. So to get as much flavour in this meat as possible, you want to marinate it overnight. I made a very simple barbecue marinade for my meat, using brown sugar, paprika, smoked paprika, black pepper, kosher salt, garlic powder, onion powder, mustard powder, and cayenne pepper. So I rubbed all the marinade into the meats, wrapped them in some tin foil, left them in the fridge overnight. Came back to the next day, and this is what we had. So this here is the most important part of the video: turning the barbecue into a smoker. First things first, you need to soak your wood chips in water for 30 minutes, followed by lighting the charcoal in the chimney. Once the charcoal is heated, pour onto the left hand side of the barbecue. Place the foil tray onto the opposite side and fill with water. For my one, I use a bit of beer and some onion, just for some extra flavour. You can use whatever you want. Next thing, lay the grill over and close the barbecue and allow the heat to get to 180. When it's heated up, add the wood chips onto the charcoal and place your meat over the foil tray on the opposite side. With these barbecues, there's two filters on either side. The side where the charcoal is you want to have closed, and the other side you want to have open. This is so the smoking can go through the meat out to the other side. As you can see, first thing I've done was put my brisket and my ribs on. These will take the longest. Close the lid and the smoking process has started. So whilst the ribs and the brisket were smoking, I started getting my chicken ready to be put on as well. Obviously, because chicken will take a bit less time, I thought put the brisket and the ribs on first, and then around about 3 hours afterwards, then we'll shove the chicken on, and then we'll see how it goes. And about 3 hours in, you can see how the brisket and the ribs are slowly taking on the actual colour and slowly starting breaking down and tenderising. So about 4 hours into the cooking process, the chicken's been on for about an hour at this point. We want to take the brisket off. We want to wrap it in some aluminum foil. What this will basically do is it will keep the moisture in the meat. If you don't wrap it up, all the moisture will leave the meat and it will be dry and horrible. So just pop that onto the back onto the smoker. Close the lid down and leave it on there for about another hour.
Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce, that is going on the ribs.
So like the legend himself, Zuckerberg, we will be using Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce.
I want my baby back ribs. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
As the cooking process goes along, you need to keep adding the wood chips. So if you don't have enough in the water, just carry on adding them in there, getting them nicely soaked, and just keep popping them more on top. As you can see, the heat kind of dies down, so you want to keep adding some coals on. And the next part of what I'm going to do here is actually you have to take the ribs off and wrap them in the foil. So before you do actually wrap them in the foil, you want to baste them again, just so all that flavour and moisture keeps in there whilst it's continuously smoking on the barbecue. So the ribs have been put back on, wrapped in the foil, and about an hour later, the heat will die down again. Well, for me, it did anyway. So what I did, was I actually put more charcoal on. So I put more charcoal on, let it heat up again, and then just back into the onto the barbecue. More wood chips on, carried on the process. About this time, you're probably about 6 hours through. So you've got about 4 more hours left, depending on how long you really want to cook the meat for. So as you can see here, I'm just adding more charcoal in and getting the heat back up. Also at this point during the process, you want to add some sausages in. I thought it would be quite nice to try out some smoked sausages. I know I've properly overpacked this barbecue, which a lot of people will be looking at this video now and going, oh my god, he's doing it wrong. But as I said before, it worked perfectly. So obviously sausages only need about 3 hours on there to get that smoking going through it. So this is the perfect time to add those sausages on. So in this part of the video now, the sausages have been on for about 3 hours, the chicken's been on for about 6 hours, and the brisket and ribs have been on for about 10 hours. So it's time to kind of slow down the cooking process, take the brisket off, and leave it to rest.
I'm the meat chef.
Brisket is all done. It smells so much like smoke. So I'm going to open the brisket. I'm going to let it sit for about half an hour. I mean, that's what life is about, isn't it? Look at that. Juicy brisket. I'm going to let it sit. Then I'm going to have a little cut of it. See how soft it is. It feels feels hella sexy. It smells very good, doesn't it? Look at that. So we're going to leave that sit now. And then this is extreme, I'll tell you that. The brisket's been off the barbecue now for about 30 minutes. It's been resting. And next thing we're going to do is take all the chicken off, the sausages, the ribs, leave that to rest a little bit. Then it's time to serve. So there you have it. Smoky sausages, beautifully barbecued ribs and chicken, and a brisket with its dark and beautiful crust, which is powerful in flavour and soft to the teeth. My smoking journey has come to a close.
I want to try my brisket.
I'm going to finally sit down and eat my food. I've cooked for next door, here. I'm knackered. I'm finally going to do it, and I'm very happy. But remember, subscribe to the Marinating Chef. That's the way it is.